What are 5 ways that Minecraft shocked the gaming industry? Greetings, everybody. I am your host, the Mealtime Professor, and today I am going to be talking about how Minecraft turned the tables regarding what was expected from successful video games for its time. Now, before I move on with the presentation, I want to give you an important disclaimer, and that is I am going to be talking about particular video games that came out around the same time period that Minecraft was first released. And when I am talking about these games, I am not doing it because I want to say any of these games are bad. Rather, it is because I want you to understand what was generally expected from a game that was really successful and how Minecraft betrayed a lot of these expectations. So let me move on to my first point, and that is Minecraft didn't have refined graphics, or at least at the time, what was considered refined graphics. Now, it's important to remember that Minecraft came out around the same time that games for the Xbox 360 were really popular. There was an increase in games that had very high graphics quality, and we also see the introduction of HDMI technology for console systems. So there were a lot of expectations regarding how games looked visually. One particular example I can think of is Assassin's Creed, where that might have been the first time I heard someone ask, "Are you playing a video game or are you watching a movie?" Games were starting to look really good at this period, but Minecraft didn't really hold up to these expectations. Minecraft uses a lot of low poly models and pixelated textures. And the image you see on screen here is the old pig model. And if you look closely, you don't even see a three-dimensional sprite or a three-dimensional snout on this pig. It's just drawn in with the texture. Now, why didn't these things matter? A big reason for this is because a lot of people actually kind of liked the way Minecraft looked, probably because it lended itself well to that particular experience. As you most likely already know, Minecraft is a world made out of blocks, so if everything in the game looks really blocky, this sort of fits in with the atmosphere. And we see in a lot of music video adaptations of Minecraft related themes or just Minecraft music parodies, a lot of the art style decisions made by Notch are kept in these parodies. A lot of things still look very pixelated and blocky, so this is something that people kind of actually liked. And even if you didn't like it, there were a lot of options to change the graphics. The most obvious example would be texture packs. They were very easy to install. And you also had a lot of lighting packs too. I think installing those is at least a little harder, but what you see on screen now is called the Faithful 32X resource pack. And this is a very easy thing to put into Minecraft if you want. All it really does is increase the resolution of textures within the game without really subtracting much from Minecraft's charm. So if you're looking for a high resolution Minecraft experience, I highly recommend installing Faithful 32X. It's a texture pack I like a lot. Now, the second thing that was very surprising about Minecraft was the fact that it had no goal. When Minecraft first came out, there wasn't even an Ender Dragon. That was an addition that took place long during beta's development process. At the tail end of beta, probably for the full release, the Ender Dragon was released. So there was no real goal for Minecraft. And a lot of games at this period were very story rich, and they also followed very linear trajectories. The most obvious example I can think of is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, where even though it has a lot of open world aspects to it, you have to stay on the path that the game presents you with in order to experience significant character growth. And I remember enjoying playing this game at the time, but when I go back to play it now, I do have to admit I get a little frustrated about having to go the same route I went before in order to make Link more powerful and even to accomplish the main goal of the game. If you read the guidebook for Breath of the Wild, you can actually see some notes from the developers themselves where they talk about getting inspiration from Minecraft and Terraria. Now, why did Minecraft not need a concrete goal? Well, it was very easy for players to create their own goals. Building is a core component of Minecraft, so you could create goals that revolved around building certain things. And not only that, but this lack of a concrete goal was actually very liberating for its time. Minecraft was the first game I played where I really felt like I was free. It really felt like an open world because you were just put into an environment and there was nothing you really had to do. You kind of just had a real sandbox. And this was a very fresh experience for me because a lot of the games I played growing up, you had to follow very set paths. Now, the third thing that was really surprising about Minecraft is it didn't have any official marketing campaign. And a lot of the very successful games we see during this period had a lot of money put into marketing. A lot of people still had their cable boxes plugged in, so TV advertisements were big for getting attention for games. And there were also certain partnerships that took place for certain products. You can see a very specific example of this on screen where Halo 3 partnered with Burger King. And I'm pretty sure I even remember someone getting a cup that was like this. But Minecraft didn't need any of this. Why is that? Well, Minecraft had a very strong player community at the beginning. So a lot of people would look in and they saw people were very invested in this game, and it couldn't help but generate at least a little curiosity. You know, people would ask themselves, this is a very strong community. People are very dedicated to this game. Why is that? And it was also very easy to upload screenshots and videos of Minecraft to the internet. Now, Minecraft is a PC game. At least it started as a PC game first, and then it got transitioned to consoles later. So it was easier to take screen recordings of Minecraft than it was to take screen recordings of console games. If you wanted to get a high quality recording of a console game, you needed a capture card. And no one I knew growing up had one of those. But for Minecraft, all you needed was some software on your computer to record the screen for you, and you could get a video that you could put on YouTube. And even if you couldn't get that, you still had the built-in screenshot function that came included in Minecraft. So it was very easy for you to take screenshots of your creations and put them on social media or some other website. So this functioned as free advertising for Minecraft. Now, the fourth thing that was very surprising about Minecraft, particularly regarding how much money it was able to make, was the fact that it didn't have any DLC. And a lot of the successful games during this period actually did have DLC. There were a lot of pressures to get DLC because if you didn't get it, you would miss out on certain achievements, and you might even find yourself excluded from the game community for not having certain downloadable content. I can think of examples when I was young where I was playing Halo 3, and because I didn't have certain DLC packs, I wasn't able to play with my friends, and I would even get kicked from certain lobbies because my name would start flashing and it would tell everybody that I didn't have the DLC. So I wound up being excluded from certain custom games because I wasn't willing to spend money, or I couldn't spend money on getting certain maps. What you see on screen right now is a map called Sandbox. This is a map that was put into Halo 3 towards the tail end of its lifespan, and it kind of is what it sounds like. It was sort of a canvas for creating a lot of custom maps, but it was DLC, so if you didn't have it, you couldn't play not only on the default map, but any sort of custom map that someone created with it. I think Bungie learned from this because Foundry wound up becoming free, which was an important map for a lot of custom maps. And then in Halo Reach, Forge World came built in with the game, so a lot of custom maps didn't require DLC. But at the time, it was a very dividing factor. But Minecraft didn't need DLC, and because it didn't include any DLC, you didn't have to worry about splitting up the community. Yes, maybe you couldn't have made extra money from selling people DLC, but you had a strong community, which, as I mentioned before, helped generate more interest in the game. And if people wanted to create huge expansions, they could do it themselves with mods. So you didn't need to have to worry about downloading DLC if there was the Aether mod example, or I'm sure many others are a lot of fun and they really enrich the game experience, and they were completely free. Now, before I move on to this final point, I would like to remind you that I create a lot of content related to game design, and I want to continue doing this. So if you're interested in seeing that, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you like the video so far, please make sure to give it a like. Now, the fifth thing that was very surprising about Minecraft's success was the fact that it wasn't even a finished game. A lot of games, just about every single game that came out, was sold as a finished product. And even after Minecraft sees what is considered its full release, a lot of updates get added to the game that significantly change the game experience. This is sort of a principle that AAA games have taken, but in a bad way now, because now we get unfinished games that have a lot of problems. They're either very glitchy or they're really lacking in content that needs to be there. But this wasn't the case with Minecraft, because the unfinished versions of the game were still a lot of fun to play. There was still plenty to do. And because the game was so fun even when it was unfinished, it actually made you look forward to the new updates, because you'd say to yourself, you know, the game is so fun now, I can't imagine how fun it's going to be when they add new stuff to it or when it becomes finished. And it's not like now where you get an unfinished game and it's bad and you have to say to yourself, well, maybe they can fix it, maybe they can't. With Minecraft, you already knew that it was good and it was going to just get better for the most part. So these are all the things that Minecraft didn't need to see the level of success that it saw. I want to pose you a question, which is, what are some things that are taken for granted now that you don't really think are required for creating a very good game? I want you to think about games that have come out recently and think about some assumptions that the AAA gaming industry may have that aren't really necessary. If you can think of something like that, please leave it in the comments below, because I would be very interested in seeing what you have to say about this matter. Guys, thank you very much for watching this far. I really appreciate it. If you are eating right now, I hope you enjoy the rest of your meal, and I hope you have an excellent day.